Welcome to another edition of 303 Garage Talks. I have with me today Todd Lytle. We might as well be at the beach. We'll get to that in a second.
Don't smile.
Let's talk about our sponsor real quick, making this possible.
Sure.
Vinga CBD out of Steamboat. What do you think about CBD these days? You doing CBD?
Is it legal?
Oh, I think so.
Is it? If it's legal, I'm down. But I don't know. I've heard some good things.
Of course it's legal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard, who's taking that?
I'm on my second day of
Okay.
taking it.
And you're still here.
I'm still here. All my pain is gone, and I'm bouncing off the walls. Just kidding.
Okay.
Maybe bouncing off the walls, but I'm just excited to be here.
All right. All natural?
All natural, made steam. Well, it's made Steamboat, but a Steamboat company.
Is that a big sponsor or the medium level? What level
we're
sponsor?
Hoping to be true on. I don't know yet. We're still working on it.
Okay.
So
All right.
we're good. But Vinga.
Okay.
CBD products.
Are you guys a sponsor of us?
Of Rocky Mountain Triathlon?
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
So Todd.
Yeah. Yes.
Todd is. Well, we'll just go with that. Todd
Yeah.
is president of Rocky Mountain Tri Club.
Yeah.
You are the kingpin of triathlon around Denver.
I don't know about that.
You did all these.
I really don't know about that.
Come on, I think so. And we're here to get to know Todd a little better.
Cool.
We're here in the shirts that you had made for your Kona quest, which was going to happen in October, now in February.
February 6th now.
So talk about. Let's dive in there. Where are you at with your planning with that?
Well,
you had it all set up.
Yeah, and this whole world pandemic has affected all of us, right? So where we're at is everyone was just waiting for Ironman to make their decision, So Ironman has said you can do February 6th in Kona, which is pretty cool because it was the original time when Ironman moved from Honolulu to Kona, Hawaii. It was the first time, so you're really going back to the original Ironman month, which is pretty cool. And how many people get a chance to do an Ironman in February in Kona?
Could you have
that
deferred
many.
If you wanted to?
I could have deferred until October 21.
You could have.
But the deal is that we've been doing this for 34 years, and I don't want to go another week that I don't have to. So I'll take February 6th, and we'll crush it. So what I've been doing is just and on the Tri Club we've been doing virtual stuff. We had to change plans, flights, hotels, bike transport, everything like that.
Because you had it all set up, right?
Because I had it all set. Yeah.
You had how many people coming with you?
Were you coming or not?
Well, I was going to be there.
You're going to be there. All right, so you don't count, but probably like 8 people.
So you had a room set up?
Yeah, I had condos set up, everything. Yeah, so we've just switched it. Some of those people are not going to be there anymore. Some of those people are probably getting their own or doing their own thing. So I've probably given myself a little more extra room.
How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Training-wise? Feeling good?
I'll do it tomorrow. It's just yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. That sounds conceited, and I know it, but I'm really not because I'm middle of the age group. Middle. Yeah, right? So it's no big deal. There's no training. There's no CBD oils. There's
Nobody's sponsoring you.
I'm middle. It doesn't matter. I can do it tomorrow, and I'll still finish. It's just a finish. It's just a journey. Kona is a victory lap. It's just a victory lap after 34 years.
It's really been 34 years since your first try.
The shirt says 34 years of try, so I have to go with what the shirt says.
So you were what, 6?
Now, if it's February 6th, it's going to be 35 years.
You were 6 years old when you did your first triathlon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can tell. No, 1986, Huntington Beach Lions Club Triathlon. It was an Olympic distance. Took second in my age, 15 to 19, and then life started at that point. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's where it started. Yeah.
What did you love about it when you first did it?
What did I love about it?
What made you do it again?
Yeah. Well, so we really just started, and Bob Agello was our coach, and he's on my Facebook. So if he's on Facebook, he'll be seeing this. What's up, Bob? He's in near San Diego, but and he's going to be one of the ones that go to my.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, Bob Agello. He was my coach in high school, so our cross country coach. Oh. And what got us into tries is we just wanted to cross train for running, for cross country. So we got bikes. We started swimming at Cal State Northridge, and we shaved our legs at age 16. They called me Sweet Legs Lytle, and we just started.
Oh
off we went at 16. Hashtag. So get this. Can you imagine a day when we rode with no helmets. We rode with toe clips.
Right. Toe
clips that you pull up to tighten your shoe. We would go cruise through Sepulveda Canyon, Topanga Canyon. We do 80-mile rides. I mean, it was in the infancy stages. There was no aero helmets. There was no wetsuits. When we look back at the pictures from '86, we weren't wearing wetsuits. It was 55-degree temp in Huntington Beach, and you're swimming around the pier with, you had to be a polar bear club kind of thing. There was just no wetsuits. That wasn't even a thought. Only surfers wore wetsuits back in the day.
When did your focus become on Kona? Like,
well,
what was it that I got to get to Kona?
Well, there was a lot of life between 15 to, in LA and training, and then Air Force, and then schools and junior colleges up and down the West Coast. And but once I got here, and I mean, Kona's always in the back of your brain, because when I started, Kona was only 8 years old. 1978, and I started in 86. Kona was 8 years old, and we've just had the 42nd anniversary, right? But so I didn't really start thinking about it until 2012, after my third Iron, is when they came out with the Legacy program in 2012. And then it was like, well, because I'm middle of the age group, I'm middle. There's no way I could qualify. There's just no way. No, I don't put enough time in. I have fun. I love it. I love the life. I love the community. I love all the people. But I'm not like you. I'm not a minute away from going to Kona straight out, right? That's pretty intense. I just have fun with it and cheer people on and get people motivated and do some fun stuff. Yeah. I'm more on that crazy social side of tri, and not so. I don't live in Boulder.
Sorry, Boulder.
No, because there's a lot of intense athletes. I give them all the props, man. I take my hat off to all those folks that can qualify outright, and people do it over and over again. But once I came out with Legacy, well then, hey, there's a place for me, So I'll throw down some irons. I'll do the distance. I can go. Here's my motto with this whole tri thing. You don't have to out fast. You just have to outlast.
Right.
That's it. That's for everybody that can't qualify. If you outlast, you get to go to Kona. That's it. So that's how it started.
You brought a little treasure chest, I see.
Oh,
some
yeah.
medals. Is there a reason why some of those ended up in that box? Do you have a favorite in there?
This is 10 years. 10 years of irons. I just thought everybody should know what 10 years of irons look like. It'd be kind of fun. But this one was the first one. This was St. George. And this one was the toughest one. So this is, I think they had to cancel it 2 years later because it was too tough. Nobody was signing up.
The wind and
Yeah, so this one, as my first Iron doing St. George, and I think it was like 14 hours, but it's a brutal course. But that was one where I thought, wow, all irons are like that. I go, uh-oh, this is going to be tricky. But that one stands out.
Which other, you've done Boulder, I know.
Well, Boulder 3 times, but St. George, and then Cozumel.
Okay.
And then when it was in Penticton, and now it just came back to Penticton, but Ironman Canada. And then, Boulder and Lake Tahoe a couple times, Louisville, Florida, Texas, I don't know. Arizona was my fastest, 10:45.
Oh, that's good. Mm-hmm. That's really good.
So
that's not middle of the pack.
No, it was middle. You're still middle.
You're middle of your age.
In order to qualify in Arizona, to qualify for Kona, you had to be 9:01.
Oh my God.
9:01, top 3. I'm 10:45. I was 30th out of 300 in my age. I'm all right, but I'm nothing. There's no way I would get to Kona if it wasn't for Legacy.
I was 10:21 in Arizona. It was like 25th place.
There you go. See?
Yeah. Arizona's fast.
I know.
What's your favorite?
It's all right. My favorite.
Do you have a favorite Ironman?
I don't think I have a favorite. I have favorite pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the swim, Cozumel, like swimming in a fish tank.
I did that this morning.
Yeah, you got little jellyfish nipping at you, but the swim was just so clear and crystal. I've never swam in a fish tank like that. So that was the swim.
Right.
Lake Tahoe, the run's beautiful on the run course in Lake Tahoe. You can't beat that. I really like, believe it or not, Louisville, Kentucky with the rollers.
Yeah.
And through those farm countries was a really cool bike. But I think those are like the 3 that stand out.
Did you do Tahoe when it was super cold?
I did Tahoe. First year, Tahoe was super cold. It snowed the night before, wiping snow off your bike the morning of.
Wow.
The second year they held the race, there were fires. They canceled the race.
Right.
And then the third time was perfect, and I was in that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And that was one that I drove to, camped in the Ironman village in my car, and just lived out of my car for 4 nights, just doing an Iron out of my car. And I just love it, because you have all your things in bags, everything's organized, it's no problem. You have a huge parking lot to organize your stuff. You can use a local hotel in that parking lot. They think you're part of the race, so they think you're staying there. And you just go in, you can use the facilities, you can say hi to everybody, and you can have the internet in the parking lot, so you've got Wi-Fi, you've got everything. We're just staying. It was really economical.
Well, speaking of camping.
An adventure.
Let's pivot just a little bit.
Let's pivot.
Just speaking of camping.
Yeah.
I was super honored a couple years ago when you invited me to be part of your Leadville 100 quest,
Yeah.
running race.
Yeah.
There's a ride as well.
Yeah.
How did you settle on doing that? Well, that's the first question. What made you want to do that?
Yeah, well, I had a friend, Heather Conley, who's on the Tri Club, and she does great. She's a serious ultra runner for sure. Hi, Heather. And she did it, and I was a guide for her. And when you're a guide, that's the first thing you want to do is you just picture yourself saying, I want to be here next year. I want to be here. And now it's really hard to get into Leadville. But a fellow runner, I think from Runner's Roost, had asked if I want to be part of the team. And then if you're part of a team and one person makes it, the whole team makes it. Oh. So then I got in that way, and I thought I could do it. I had done an 80-mile, tried to go 100. I went 80 miles on Christmas Day for Dustin Hickok, who suffered a traumatic brain injury. Yep. So I went 24 hours around Wash Park, and we did about 80 miles. So I figured, well, if I went 80 around the park, I could do 100 in Leadville at altitude. But so that's how I did it. So that's how I started. And then Heather was one of my guides, and you were up there.
I was up there.
You were going to be my guides, but as you and I both know, I made it to the halfway point, but 10 minutes too late.
Is that what it was? So how did you feel?
I missed the cutoff.
How did you feel when that happened? What went through your head?
I felt I let all my guides down who were waiting to run with me. So you felt pretty embarrassed.
Did you feel embarrassed?
I did feel embarrassed, but at the same time I felt, because the next day I went on a 7-mile hike. I was fine. I was trained up to go 100. I could have gone 100. Yeah. I just didn't make. I could that Hope Pass. Here's the problem when you mix triathlon with ultra. Triathlon, we can get by on an 80-mile ride with like 1 bar and a gel and some water. We can just get by because we know we're just pedaling, whatever. We can get by on a ride. We can get by with gels and some astronaut food. In ultras, you got to put down some real food. And I think my nutrition was off. My nutrition was for triathlon. It wasn't for ultras. Big difference. So that's what I learned.
It was interesting because Heather was the captain, right? And I was at the first aid station. Yeah. And she brought out this wagon. Yeah. And I just wanted to start eating because there was licorice and beef jerky and all this in one.
But gels and bars and all.
You didn't really eat a lot, I don't think.
No, I know. I didn't have a coach. Heather had a coach, and she did good and stuff. I've never had a coach, so that's also one. My first motto was, you don't have to outfast, you just have to outlast. Second motto is how we roll here. I know I don't live in Boulder. No co. That's no coach, no sponsor, no brand ambassador, no watch. Just roll with it. Just do it. Just get out there and have fun and do it. So I didn't have a coach for that. Thought I could do it. Didn't do it.
Did they teach you a lesson?
But it was great. A lesson?
Did they teach you lessons?
Just be a little bit more prepared for that for 100 miles. It's no joke.
Life lesson? Anything like?
But I could have. I could do it. I could do it if I just eat better. That's it. That's it.
What was in your head as you were? 50 miles is still a long way to run. Did you find any dark spots compared to like an Ironman?
It's harder than an Ironman. It's a good question. It's harder because you're out there and you're just exposed. You're exposed. In Iron, there's always an aid station. There's always people around. You know the course. It's a little less, but this is 24 hours. I mean, you have 24 hours and you're hitting. You also have some serious time cutoffs. And once you get to the even if I were to make it, even if I were 11 minutes faster than what I was, I would still be chasing a cutoff. Another cutoff would be coming behind me.
Like at the top of the pass or something.
It's like if you ever watch some of the swimming events and you see that line, that world record line, and whether they're ahead it or behind it, and they might be ahead of it, but that line's coming. I feel like that cutoff is just this line coming while you're running down a trail. I see that line, and it's going to get me, and eventually it just gets you because you. So it's hard to chase time cutoffs. Ironman, the cutoffs are much more easy.
Well, for the record, you had no reason to feel embarrassed on my behalf as a crew person. Because I was actually a little relieved. I think I was like, oh, thank God.
Really?
But no. Well, just because I was going to be late because I had that 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. shift. Yeah. But I was kind of excited to. I knew if you got to that point, I was there with you. Yeah. I wasn't sure what that was going to feel like or be like. Yeah. But I thought, man, this might be a chance to get to know the real Todd. Yeah. He's going to start saying gibberish about stuff, and I'm like, what? Like, really? Yeah.
What's funny is your shift that I had you on was my shift that Heather wanted me on, and she wanted me on that shift when I was a guide because it was the darkest shift of the thing, and she wanted me to tell stories and tell jokes and get her to the daylight. Yeah. And to where Noosh could take over. So you were supposed to just tell me stories and jokes and all that stuff. So that's why you were in that shift. So we would have had a fun time. But
what would I have learned, do you think, that people wouldn't know about Todd Lytle?
They know it. My life's an open book. I'll say anything.
Yeah?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So you're in the Air Force. I guess I had forgotten about that.
Yeah.
What'd you do there?
I'd have to kill you. No, I wish I had a great story. I wish I saved, I was in enemy territory and I shot down enemy planes and I saved American life. I wish I had that story. I don't. My story is just I was in for 13 months, 19 days. I got out right before the Gulf War started, the first Gulf War. They had an early out program, and I went in, but unfortunately what I learned is that sometimes that the needs of the Air Force take over before your needs.
Really?
Your needs don't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter what a recruiter told you. I also learned that recruiters will tell you anything. But I loved basic training. I loved the discipline of it, the structure, but I just didn't get the right job that I wanted. And when they moved me to like my third job, at that age, I was too young and immature, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to get out. So they let me out because of the early out program type of thing.
Okay.
So I still served in the military. I have an honorable discharge.
Would you want to be a pilot or anything like that?
I'm too big for a pilot, and my eyes are not good as well as for a pilot, I don't think.
I will tell you one thing.
But I like the Air Force. I did a try in the Air Force. In Fort Devens, they had one triathlon. So I was still doing tries through there. And that was I went in, if anybody remembers Andy Gibb of the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
The day Andy Gibb died was January 13th, 1989. That's the day I went in. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to share something about you that maybe people wouldn't know. And I learned this when we kind of had our first major interaction, which was with the Denver Athletic Club.
Yep.
We put together a triathlon. And I'm like my garage, I'm a little scattered, right? You can see.
Little.
And you came in to help me, and because we put together a panel of people, and RMTC was kind of the co-sponsor, and you actually really had your shit together. Like you had a list, and you had the program, and you helped me like dial it in. And then when you were at Leadville, you had your stuff really, but you have a very charismatic air of like just surfer and cash, but you really have another side that's pretty buttoned up. Yeah. Is that fair?
I think it's fair.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if it's from the job or whatever, but by the way, I just lost my job. I'm unemployed. You got to be a little organized. Be organized. Yeah. I try to be organized for the Tri Club as well. Yeah. And shout out to the Tri Club too.
Well, Rocky Mountain
Peaks. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I guess I just try to be organized for people so they know what is going on, what the expectation is. And the first thing is to have fun. If you're not having fun, you shouldn't be doing it. Right. And that's one thing to bring to the tri world that I just try to keep having fun. Don't try to put too much pressure on myself. Pressure's off. I said Kona is a victory lap. It's just a victory lap. That people say, oh, you got to train. You're gonna train. They say, because I'm on the legacy sites and all these things, and you got these people going, oh, I don't know if I could train over the winter. I don't know what am I going to do. And then those people they're going to be like 14, 15, 16 hours anyways. It doesn't really matter your time. It's just a victory lap. In legacy's victory, you've already done the work. Now you just enjoy it. So I can really go to Kona and just absolutely enjoy it. I'm talking margaritas night before type of enjoyment.
Yeah,
just who cares? Yeah.
You can come to the TGIF Friday, the party, the Thank God I'm Not Racing party by Bob Babbitt. Because nobody goes there that goes actually racing, but maybe.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean I'm not going to be silly about it. We respect the distance, respect the race.
Right.
I'm going to finish just fine, but it's a celebration.
So I want to talk about Rocky Mountain Tri Club in a second.
Okay.
But let's finish talking about Kona a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you imagine that's going to be like running down the Heat Drive on that final half mile?
I've only seen it in videos. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it with other athletes that are either on the club or off the club here in Denver that they've posted all their videos and pictures, and I've tried to comment on every single one for respect for them. But so I've seen the images, but I really can't picture me there. And it's been a long road. But I don't know. I don't even like to think about it too much. I just want it to happen. I don't want to overthink. I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to overthink. We all know how that goes. These shirts say on the back, it says October 10th. We should show the back too, by the way, because that's another story. Yeah. But and I brought a black one, but I think it's in the car. I brought my black sweatshirt because it really pops. So I brought that. But no, I think it's just going to be amazing, and I'm going to be really happy to have my son there, and my mom, and my niece, and hopefully my sister. I have a twin sister.
Yeah.
I'm 2 minutes older. We're not identical.
You're 2 minutes faster.
2 minutes faster. We're not identical. I get that. You have a twin sister? You're identical?
What?
Yeah, that's what I get. That's the question. Are you identical? No, we're not identical.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I still get that. But yeah, she's in Canada. It's just gonna be amazing. The whole course. Like when I picture starting. I mean, I had friends do it last year. Obviously, a lot of people I can't even remember all their names. They certainly crushed it, and I don't even care that I'm in the last wave, right? The Kahui wave,
right,
or whatever it is. Who cares? You go off at 7:30, and who cares if all the pros are out of the water already? Who cares? We're still doing it. We're doing it. It's just it's a final victory lap. It'll be so awesome. But I definitely will be coming by. I'll be running. I'll be sprinting on that thing. I might take my time though.
There's some high fives. You're gonna bring a flag. You're gonna do anything?
I'll be wearing the Rocky Mountain Tri kit.
Yeah.
But it'll just be cool. I'll be giving as many high fives as I can. Hopefully, if that's allowed. Who knows what this is going to be? But I've been thinking about this little Kona February after. We'll still be in the middle of this pandemic. We'll still be, and even in February, I feel. And if it goes off, it's going to be a celebration of just life, of getting out of the house, of traveling to another state, right? I mean, it's just all these things. This whole race is just off limits right now.
Yeah.
And I'm in a couple other races. I don't think Boulder's the half is gonna go off on August 1st. I doubt it. I think Coeur d'Alene is probably not going to go off, and I'm supposed to race that one in September 6th. But who knows? I just think when we get to February 6th, it's going to be a sell. People are going to be so happy to be out and traveling. Right. Even if you wear a face mask on the plane now, whatever.
So how's COVID affected you? I mean, you mentioned you lost your job. I assume maybe that's related to COVID.
Yeah. Other things. You know what? Other things, just minor. I've been. Well, now that we've really done a great thing with the Tri Club, and one of the few. I think there's about 6 or 8 groups that can swim at the gravel pond. Wow. So we have 100 folks on our club that can swim there now, and we do about 11 at a time, 10 or 11 at a time. So we encourage everybody to wear masks on walking there, park in the right parking lot, stay 6 feet apart, follow all their guidelines so that we don't lose the privilege. But Sarah Thomas has a group there, and there's about 5 or 6 other groups. So we just try to be cool. But being able to open water swim 3 or 4 times a week now, I got in as I'm the president, I guess. So some of our officers were able to make sure that we got our spots. But we opened it up to everybody, and 100 people got spots, and because we can only have so many.
Was it like a lottery, or how did people get that?
It's first come, first serve.
Okay.
Yeah, we had people signing up for the club just to get a spot to swim. And I feel kind of bad for the members that maybe there's members that could have gotten one, right. But at the same time, we gave so much head notice. We gave so much, you got a couple weeks, you got to sign up quickly because they're going to go. So we gave everybody really solid notice. So through emails, Google groups, Facebook posts, everything. Everyone's lots of communication.
How's the
club it's so doing? Cool. What?
Club doing okay?
We're doing good, but we're virtual.
Yeah.
So it's so weird. I was an officer a few years ago, and we'd have meetings, but now we don't even meet together. It's all Zoom meetings, right. WebEx. But there's still lots of stuff to do. We got Zwift going with bike rides, and then you can ride on your own. You can run on your own. Right. Yesterday I did our track workout just on my own, and you just do it on your own. Solo track workouts, solo rides, or distance with a couple other people, but we're really sticking to the guidelines to keep our members safe.
How big is the club right now?
We're about somewhere north of 400 members right now.
Where does that rank in the U.S., do you know?
Well, I don't think we're not one of the big clubs like LA Tri Club. I think is pretty big, and they've got some other ones that are kind of
Florida.
Yeah, but we're up. We're up there. I think we're like level 2 or level 3 or something.
So you're pretty good.
We're good.
Biggest in the state.
Biggest in the state. Hey, it's called Rocky Mountain Track Club.
So COVID, yeah. I mean, look at your hair. How come your hair is so nice? I got this rag on top of my head.
Okay, you need to get. I ordered online a shaver. I've shaver.
Done that.
Have you? Well, you haven't done it too well.
You haven't done it this year. I used to use.
I started with 12, number 12.
Oh,
so when I get
up to 6.
When I get my hair cut, I go number 1 on the sides, fade up to 2, and then whatever they do with a couple inches. But now I just go 12, the whole thing 12, and then I do 6, the whole thing 6 to about right there, and then I go 3 to about right there, and then that's it.
That's what I only go up to 6 or 7. I need a 12.
Really? Yeah. And then you got to let it grow out for a week or 2.
Yeah, it's a little rough. I used to cut mine up.
And then there's also hats.
I don't wear hats.
Yeah, and then you just don't go out much anyways, so it doesn't really matter. You're just at home.
Right.
It doesn't even matter. Everyone's hair.
Well, we'll take care at our age, right?
I'll take it. Yeah.
54 or 51.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah. So I don't know. I was thinking about this, and it's just been a long road though. This has been 34 years. February will be 35 years. 35 years of being in tri, not totally doing tri like every single year, but pretty much, know of it, training kind of for it, doing races, and I'm just kind of glad that it's gonna be over.
What do you
I
think
want to get to the other side of it.
What is the other side?
Because we've done enough. No one can say that, oh, you've done 14 tries, well, you need to do 20. You need to do 30. You need to do 40. What's that one girl, Susan Haig, who's done 100 plus in Arizona? I'm good. I'm done. I want to do something else.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Golf?
Not golf.
No?
I like trail running. I honestly like trail running. Yeah. It's so cool. So I just want to do trail running and just chill out. Still do stuff.
You're a good basketball player.
And some hoop. We've hooped it.
Yeah, we hooped
it up.
You're a good player. You played in college, right?
I played Moore Park Junior College.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you miss it? Is that your favorite sport?
It was before tri, but I like tri.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I like tri. I'll still do stuff and maybe help out and volunteer, because I like to volunteer and get stuff going. And we have such a great club. I don't think I'm ever going to not be in the club and not doing stuff. But there won't be this pressure of doing Kona. That's the first thing that everybody asks you.
Right. No, I get it.
You've been there and done it so much at Kona that now I'm there every year. I just do. If you walked away right now and never went back to Kona, your cup would be full of Kona. Because that's all you do. That's what you do. You're Kona.
I've been there.
You're Bill Kona.
I've never raced it.
I know, but I just want to do this one, and then I'm good with that. Because that's the first question everybody asks. Have you done Kona? Oh, you do tries? You do Kona?
Right.
You go to Hawaii? You do it?
Yeah.
No, I've got no. But now I can go, I've been there, Yeah, it's so cool.
So you're president of Rocky Mountain Tri Club.
Yeah.
What have you enjoyed most?
I just think seeing the because we have a great officer board. We have 11 people. I won't say all their names, but we got officers in IT and accounting and meetings and social medias and marketing and communications. We got officers all over the board, and to see all those folks come together, even in a global pandemic time like this, and still get things organized, volunteer. We're still volunteering down at the Denver Rescue Mission, and we're still doing that stuff. We're keeping everybody safe. But to see everybody kind of rally and still put stuff out for members, and for members to feel that they're still getting some kind of value with our club even in this time, I think that's been pretty inspiring. Like, our club rallies. Like, we got to go here. Okay, how are we as a group and as a club going to go over here and do this now that we now have these directives and things, and still keeping everybody safe and meeting guidelines and stuff. So I think that's what I'm most proud of, is how our club has come together and adapted to change, which is what life is all about.
When you've been around the club a long time, you mentioned you're an officer before.
Yeah.
And you became president. What was maybe a challenge you didn't expect?
For
being a president, as a president. What did you got this job, you got in the seat, and you're like, oh, I didn't know how to do that. Or that was harder than I thought. Has there been anything like that?
I didn't even want to be a president. They asked me to be president. I'm like, all right. But listen, it's just a title. We're just, I always say, don't call me a title, just call me Lytle. But we're I don't know. The challenge is just keeping all the plates spinning. There's so many action. It's amazing. You would think that we only have a few things to do because of this globe. No, we got tons of stuff that we're organizing. And this swim thing that Charlie and Michael predominantly, and Janae with all the communications, Janie, have put out and done with the open water swim and gravel pond and everybody. I mean, I'm talking to people at the swim, and they're telling me, yeah, this has been so cool, so great for getting out. Just today, I heard this. Thanks so much for doing all this, because now I can get out and swim and feel good. And that right there, that's it. That's why we do it. And so it's been a challenge to see everybody work together, but I guess I didn't I think you said, what's the biggest challenge? The global pandemic, while trying to run a club where all we do is get out, we run in groups, we bike in groups, we swim in groups. Right. Now do all that by yourself. Or how can you do little things as a group?
I was saying there's like 3 or 4 people maybe riding.
Yeah, well, right now, but before it was no.
Right.
No.
Right.
The optics of doing anything in groups is just terrible, and we want to meet all. The club meets all guidelines put down by the state of Colorado.
But do you feel a pressure as a club to make sure the guidelines are well communicated, or where do you feel like that responsibility lies for your club? Versus
it lies with us, our officer board, and we put out messages every week on where we're at, what we can and what we can't do, and after that, then I mean, you're an individual, you're on your own to do what you do.
Who do you communicate with to get those guidelines?
We get it from the
like
government, the government sites.
But there's not an organization that you look towards necessarily that's different than anybody else.
No.
I didn't know if there was maybe initiatives that came down from certain things for clubs or.
No,
businesses.
I don't think there's one governing body that's saying, okay, you try clubs, you do all this. It's just us interpreting what the state of Colorado is and the county. I don't think I've heard anything from USA.
Okay, interesting.
Have you?
No.
Okay,
but I'm sure they're doing things.
We get our guidelines from the state of Colorado. We're just anything Governor Polis puts out, we're adhering to. County by county, city by city, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because we have folks in the greater Denver area, but maybe they're in Jefferson County and other folks are in Arapahoe County. What's your county say? Can you travel more than 10 miles to a swim? If you're not allowed to travel 10 more miles, then this isn't going to work for you. But this is for people that can. So we just let everybody know, follow your specific guidelines for you, because it's been so varied.
It's just totally varied. Yeah. Boulder just released yesterday, July 1st. Mm-hmm. Everything's canceled until July 1st, which probably really means the end of July, but 30-day windows. Who knows? It's going to be. Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to go into all that.
No.
Well, so I have 3 standard questions I ask all my guests.
Oh no, this means we're near the end.
We don't have to be.
We didn't even touch on all the good stuff, man.
Let's talk about it. What do you want to touch on?
We're near the end now.
What do you want to touch on?
Well, because what do you do when you get out of the Air Force? What does one do? Go back to college?
I guess.
I did what everyone does. I went to Alaska and worked in a fish cannery.
Oh, really?
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Yeah, so I want to touch on that. And then what do you do when you're in Cordova, Alaska, off the Prince William Sound, a little Orca Inlet, and I had some of the best crab legs I've ever had. Ran the crab through the steam line, sat on the deck, because I was on the dock crew. So I got the pick of the litter, by the way, of the biggest crab of the boat, of the fishing boat that came in at that time, and then sat on the dock and ate my crab, throwing the scraps to beavers down below, and watching bald eagles fly over the islands on the other side. It was like, here I am from LA City, right? What am I doing in Cordova, Alaska? It was beautiful. So I've had experiences like that. That was just for a summer job. But then came back and tried to live in Pismo Beach. Went to Cuesta College, feeder school for San Luis Obispo, and was there for 1 semester. My dad's 4th wife kicked me out of the house to get back at him because he went to move with wife number 5. So I had no place to live, living out of my car, going to Cuesta, still had a bike that was in my office that I rented RVs at Morro Bay RV Rental Center. And I had one bike, and so I would ride all around San Luis and stuff, so I still had my bike. So I've always had that little tri thing in the back. This was about 91. So that was an interesting time. I finished the semester and just lived out of my car for a while there. Moved up to Portland right after that, Portland Community College. Worked a couple jobs, but too much rain, it's just crazy. When you're used to sun, you can only stay for so long. Went back to LA, tried to be a cop.
Really?
Didn't work. Went back to Moorpark College, where I started originally running cross country for Moorpark in '87. Now I'm back in '92. 5 years later, here I'm back at Moorpark, and I said, "Hey, coach, can I just train? Can I just train with you guys?" And just to warm up and run. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Head on out with the team for practice." So when we got done, 8 mile, 9 miles, there's hills back in Moorpark, Simi Valley. He goes, "Where's everybody?" I said, "I don't know where anybody is. They're way back there." He goes, "Do you have any eligibility left?" This was 5 years from when I first started. I go, "I don't know." And he goes, "Hold on, stay right there, don't move." Comes back, says, "You're on the team. Congrats." So then I ran Moorpark College cross country round 2, and I ran at the league championships at Griffith Park.
Really?
Griffith Park, and I was for number 9, so I actually went to state I was the only guy who went to the state cross country championships in 92, 93.
What were you running what were you running time like?
Back then it was like it was probably around 21 for 4 miles or something like that. But I did in high school was my best 3 miles were like 15:27.
Really?
So that was pretty cool.
That's fast.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So I ended up at Chico State. They recruited me to run cross country at Chico State, and I had a bike there, but I didn't really do too much try, just mainly focusing on running.
Yeah.
But then this little girl was sitting in the student union and had a Mexican blanket. And I said, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "Oh, I just got back from Mexico. I was there for a year on an exchange program, so now I speak perfect Spanish." And I go, "Oh, really? Where do you sign up?" Because I remember I wanted criminal justice. I still want to be a cop.
Okay.
And I said, if I can learn Spanish. So I went to Mexico City for a year and studied Spanish, and all my classes in Spanish. And
really?
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. And I made the dean's list in classes in Spanish.
What do you think of
Entonces ahorita yo puedo hablar español exactamente como un mexicano.
That's why you say Charlie's name so well.
Carlito Paredes. Yeah. So then I ended up in Mexico City, and I didn't really. I played I was on 3 basketball teams in Mexico City. Not a lot of opportunities for triathlon.
Okay.
But I did end up doing Cozumel, which was my second Iron, so it was cool. My Spanish came back in Ironman Cozumel. But then I won't talk like I can speak really good Spanglish, really good. Yeah. So then I finished up in '96, and I came here in '97, and moved here for my ex-wife. Wanted to be here with her family.
Where'd you meet her?
Chico State.
She wasn't.
She was in the financial aid line, getting a scholarship. I was in the financial aid line getting financial aid. And I'm like, okay, no. So we have a great son, Drew's 17. He's been to a couple tries. And I remember finishing Lake Tahoe. I took him to Lake Tahoe with my mom, and my mom drove him around while I was running the race. And I remember that race, there was the first Tahoe, and there was an 8-mile loop to begin. And then the next loop was it was crazy. It was like, what is that? 17 mile second loop or 18 mile second loop. Well, I finished the first loop, and he thought he was ready. I mean, he'd spent all day out there with my mom. I think it was only 5 or 6. And he says to me, he goes, "Are you done?" And I go, "Drew, I'm so sorry." No, and he's crying. He goes, "I thought you were going to die. I thought you were going to make it." And I go, "No, I'm totally fine. But listen, I'm so sorry. I have one more loop, and it's the big loop, so it's going to be a couple hours. It's going to be quite a few hours. But just if you just hold on." And he didn't leave that spot. When I came back, he was in the exact spot. My mom said he wouldn't go to the bathroom. He just stayed there. He was just there. So he understood what the whole Iron thing was about, which is pretty cool. He understands what Dad does, kind of, but he would never do it.
So would you be a cop if you could again?
I don't think so.
What was that festival?
It was a good move.
Tell me about that.
What are you going to do, man? It was like, it was that Rodney King thing was in 91, 92, and it just seemed like, because there's so many roles within cops. Like what I would do is, I don't know, you have to be on the beat for a while to earn your stripes and stuff. But I could see myself being like a DARE officer in schools or training or that type of officer, but not necessarily all the time out on the street. Just more inside, just kind of doing training and things. Be like a training officer kind of thing, working at the academy. Or I could see doing that. But I didn't, so that's all right. But I got my degree. Yeah, got my degree. It's all right.
Your whole life is about endurance. Like you've endured things and moved and tried. And it's been triathlon's kind of been at the heart of it, but it seems like your whole life has been about perseverance. Yeah. Does that seem right?
I was raised in Black LA, right? I went to an all black school in LA, and that's where I learned to hoop. That's where I learned my basketball skills, kind of thing. And so we ended up winning the city championship my senior year.
That's big.
LA City, yeah. So that was one. My sister was, kind of strung out a little bit, growing up on drugs and in rehabs and things like that. My mom was a recovering alcoholic. So I worked through high school and raised and brought money in, kind of thing. Had cereal for dinner, just did it. But I go back to just being so lucky to find that one coach, Babajello, who started us off on the tri-world when I was 16, and doing some crazy things. So one thing that he did was, I brought this for you. One thing he did was golf balls.
Okay.
Running with them.
What do you mean?
So people run like this, wasting energy, wasting movement. These things, when you run with these, back then in high school, your arms are straight.
Well, why does the golf ball matter?
Because it really focuses on your arms. It gives your arms something that, I know what I need to do with these. They need to be straight. Once you start doing this, it really fine-tunes your running motion. So now I run like this. So that's one thing I give Bob credit. I don't really run with golf balls anymore, but we used to. Our whole team had golf balls. We all ran with them and we run and not waste any motion or any energy moving forward. Yeah, we'd run like that. But we would put ice on our head at track and run with ice bags.
To keep your head.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Keep it cool and see, so you can run longer workouts and you can do harder workouts.
So was it also for posture?
Could be. It was more for just maintaining cool and being able to do longer workouts.
Okay.
Yeah. He would, there were times when we do a sprint try and then we would drive and go up Topanga Canyon. And then after a sprint triathlon, we all drove, there were 6 of us. We went to the top of Topanga and we ran down to Topanga State Beach, which is pretty close to Malibu. And then, then what are you going to do? You just did a sprint try. You've just ran 8 miles down a canyon as fast as you can, focusing on being light. And now we hitchhiked back up to the top of the canyon. So doing those things, it's just show that you can just do. You don't have to do just one thing that we can push ourselves. And all those things. Remember, I don't have a coach, but I do remember the coaches from way back when. And I was fortunate to have him and some really great teammates that we still keep in touch with.
So he was a real pivotal part of your life.
He was a Navy SEAL. And so he gave us some training techniques and stuff. Yeah. Ice and legs and pool workouts at people's homes. We would do pool. We'd do all kinds of stuff. And he was only in his 30s. And sometimes what he would do is he would try to do the workouts what we were going to do, but be a week ahead. So that if he felt bad that week, he would know to taper off. Maybe it was too much. So he was going to be the weather post for us. I mean, some really cool techniques. And before races, we would all line our backs, and he would read us these meditation stuff that we had to just be quiet, and he would do all this stuff. It was pretty incredible. It was pretty cool stuff when you look back. Got us all going on it.
Would you call him one of your most influential persons in your life?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Because those things he does today, I still, as I coach myself, I still do a lot of the things he did.
Who else would be on that list?
Definitely Carlito Perez would be it.
He's
an all-around good guy.
He is.
Just a good guy for everyone. Remembers everybody's names.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know. Some cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a long time, man. I'm ready. Do I look ready?
You look tired.
I look ready just to go and get this done with.
Yeah.
But we still got a ways. Now we have to go through the whole holiday season, and the winter season, another winter season, and then we'll be there.
Yeah.
February's good weather in Kona?
I don't know. I've never been there in February. I assume it's probably pretty good.
You're going to find out.
I know. I need to think about that too.
Yeah. But, I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful for the club. I'm thankful for you and the community. We got a great track community. And all we're going to keep doing is just keep doing good stuff for our members and keep pumping people up. That's all we're going to do. Just keep giving back.
I love it.
Yeah. That's all
now we can do our questions. I think we've...
Oh, yeah. You have 3 questions.
3 real quick ones.
Okay.
So tell me your best decision in 2020.
Best decision in 2020. What's with the honking?
I don't know.
Is that picking up on the mic?
Might have a little bit. It's garage talk. You never know what's going to happen.
That's so hard. I think my best decision was to accept the president spot for the club.
Nice.
Yeah. Give back a little more. Only 1 year. Just one.
Just one.
I'm ready to not be president after this year.
And get done with Kona and just move on.
And get done with the pandemic. Yeah. It's been quite a year. I think that was my best decision so far.
Second question.
Plus round 2.
Favorite place in the world?
Favorite place in the world? Easy. Guanajuato. So 3 hours north of Mexico City is this little tiny town. And you have to get through Querétaro, and you have to get through San Miguel Allende, and then you get to Guanajuato. And it's a small farming community, but they also were big on the mines. And the mines, they've now put all these streets through the mining tunnels. And then you have the plazas on top and the mercados. And the soil is really rich, and they have the Museo de las Momias. So they have mummies that have been reserved in this rich soil.
Yeah.
So they have these big mummy museum, and it's just such a tranquilo place, man. That's Guanajuato, and I always want to start in wherever I am or whatever, I always want to do the Guanajuato Grill, little bar and grill.
Let's take a road trip,
based
man.
on that. Yeah.
Let's take a road trip.
Oh yeah, Guanajuato is cool, man. That's an easy one because it's so tranquilo. Yeah.
Tequila and tranquilo.
Yes.
So last one.
Yeah, Bill.
If you were to make a flashback 30 years ago, what would be your ultimate career choice?
30 years ago.
Or whenever. What would be, like, if you were to redo life and you had to pick the ultimate career, what would it be?
Yeah. I've been fortunate enough to go on some really cool sailing trips, like 64-foot catamarans. And I think a cool job would be just to be a captain, cruise around BVIs and be a tour guide and just kind of cruise around and on the water. Those boats are just so amazing. I've got some pictures from one of my trips on Facebook that I went like 10 years ago and can't afford ever again. But it's just so amazing, that water,
right.
you know.
I've done that trip on it.
Have you?
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done it barefoot in the BVIs.
Or just some type of like athletic director of maintaining the jet skis, or the sports director at one of those resorts. Just when my son's out of college and on his own, who knows?
Won't be far. I can say boat.
I know you are with Riley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should go start a tri club in your favorite town in Mexico.
In Guanajuato. Too bad Guanajuato's not on the ocean. It's inland.
Yeah.
It's north. There's no water. There's very little water.
Denver's not on the ocean.
That's true. And more scuba per capita, I think, than anybody. But I don't know. That would be cool. Something like that.
Very good.
That's
well,
nice.
hey, man.
Really good catching up with you. I appreciate you catching up with me today.
I appreciate
everything that you guys do at 303. You guys were awesome at our big kickoff. I was just telling some coaches today at the gravel pond. We had such a great kickoff in February. Well, you were there. You were there. You were a witness, and you can tell me if I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. But man, there was with our sponsors, our coaches, our all the members that showed up. It was such a great. We had prizes galore. We had the prize wheel, and people were getting $100 bags, swim bags, and people were all pumped up. Right?
Yeah.
We're giving away all that, and there was so much momentum for just an amazing year. And then
the
wheels just fell off. So that's all right. We're making the best.
Well,
so
cool.
Whoever watches this, just be safe out there. Keep training, and remember, you don't have to outfast. You just have to outlast. That's it. So that's part of it, is staying healthy. Staying healthy. I don't do the black runs, skiing. I don't even ski. I just stay healthy. I don't do any ankles. I've had no surgeries. 34 years, no surgeries, no crazy stuff. Not just minor little things, but nothing. So I'm very fortunate. Nothing. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, man. All
Thanks
right.
a lot.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Okay. Peace out.
Peace out.
Air.
Knuckles.